Yeah, I would think it's maybe more so like the yo-yoing. I would be concerned if it was like you kept like gaining and losing the quote unquote same like 40 to 50 pounds. Like if you like you went through like an aggressive fat loss phase and then you did it in a way that you couldn't maintain after and you gained all this weight back afterwards, and then you're like, oh now I have to go lose it again. Like that's where the yo-yoing and the issues from the psychological standpoint come in. And there is some research that does kind of show that the more you diet, the more you are restricting yourself and you're in kind of a calorie deficit, the more your body can adapt to that. So it could make it harder to lose those same like 10 pounds in a few years than it was earlier. Like the more you put your body under stress, especially for women, just the way that our body, it's kind of this concept called metabolic adaptation, where your body starts to adapt to what you're doing, and then it kind of becomes harder and harder. So that's why, I mean, there's no like, I don't know, the research is iffy on a lot of this stuff still, but it's just something to consider. Like you don't want to be constantly restricting, as we always say, but I just think I don't know. I think it just comes back to what your goal is, and really looking at it from a standpoint of like, is this part of the plan? Like, am I doing this for a reason? Am I losing and gaining this weight from a structured, systematic, like, this is the goal to do this? Or is it, I just, restricted for 3 months, lost a bunch of weight, and I couldn't like binge back up? That's where yeah. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm coming out of my reverse or at the tail end of my reverse diet. And I think in a fat loss phase, or like in when you are kind of like trying to optimize your volume of the food and what makes you feel good, for some people, at least for me, I like to eat a lot. So I like to have that volume higher. I'm going to prioritize vegetables more because my calories are lower. And so it feels like I'm eating more. That would be like for that. But then when it comes to muscle building or even at maintenance, and I'm just kind of going through like as I'm coming to the tail end of my reverse, my my vegetables have actually decreased because now I'm eating more food. So I can get more full on and still have like more volume, but I need less vegetables to feel full because I have other foods, right? So I can work in filler. And I mean, they have some micronutrients, but that's the whole whatever. Um, but I think as you are going, if you're looking to optimize muscle building, you're looking to go into a surplus, right? For a lot of people, actually taking the vegetables down, like you mentioned, could be advantageous because if you have to get in a certain amount of food, especially if it's a lot of food, you want to, focus on the nutrient dense, calorie dense stuff if you are struggling to get as much food in. And so that can mean that you actually do need to reduce your vegetables, the non-starchy ones, so that you can have more calorie dense foods to hit your calorie goal each day and not feel like a balloon, right? And when I say balloon, I just mean like super bloated and digest it, feel bloated.